Hello, and welcome to Ignite Your Personal Brand Virtual Summit. I'm your host, Darlene Hawley, and I'm so excited to kick off 2019 with these powerful stories and trainings to help you create an authentic, magnetizing, and profitable brand and business. In this series, I'm interviewing amazing women who will be sharing their story for why they started their journey into entrepreneurship, and they're sharing their top tips to make an impact on your bottom line to create a thriving business in 2019. And I am so excited to talk with you guys today with our guest. She is brilliant when it comes to time management, making sure that you are organized and on track to hit your goals. So please help me welcome Alex Strearn. Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm great. Hi, Darlene. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for agreeing to be a part of this summit. And I know that you have so much brilliance to share with us. But before we dive into all of that goodies, tell us a little bit about who's Alex. Let us know a little who you are.
All right. Well, I've been running my own business, Darlene, since my late 20s. I'd say when I was about 29. Up until then, I was in hotel sales and marketing. That was in London. I started my own business, booking service departments in London, Paris, and New York. So I did that for about 6 years, and then I gave up when I had my family. Then I went back to work, when was it? Sort of 2012. I started writing my books about social media marketing, because it was the time really where social media was sort of getting, started being used for business. And I thought, well, sort of being a marketing person, I really wanted to find out everything about social media and how it could work for businesses. So I decided to find out all about it. And then I wrote 9 books. There was a series, Make Social Media Work for Your Business. 4 of those became bestsellers. And then I began to do social media consultancy. So I was doing that. At the same time, I was also looking after a family, my mother actually, who was very, very poorly for the last couple of years. I'm talking sort of 2016 up until now. So my business took a little bit of a it wasn't my priority at the time. So then I was supposed to launch what I'm going to tell you about now about 2 years ago, but I hit a few curveballs with family bereavement and stuff, so I had to hold on back, and then this takes us up to now really, when I've just launched my PA planner.
Yes, and it's so good. So I didn't know that you had that you've been taking care of your mother, and you've had so much stuff going on kind of in the backdrop, and that's so common as entrepreneurs. Sometimes we have great ideas, we have things going on, and life can happen, and it can kind of sidebar us and kind of take us off track. So I'm so glad to hear that you've brought it back into focus and you've been able to kind of bring that back in, because what you've created with your planner is just something that's going to change so many business owners' lives, because I'm a paper planner girl myself, and I love having a place where I can kind of have everything in one place. So I'm excited as we talk today to kind of learn about all the different areas that you put into your planner. And I'm definitely want to find out why you chose some of those areas and what they were for you that you weren't finding out in the marketplace. So tell us a little bit about how you came to even want to create your own planner. Let's start there. Okay.
Well, I think the reason I wanted to start the planner was that I've been wanting to create it for a long time. And I actually did create it about, 3 years ago. So I think mainly because I think I'm a single parent, and with other family commitments, I really struggled with overwhelm, and also the fact that I'm very, very motivated. I have lots of ideas, like so many multi-passionate entrepreneurs. They want to do this, they want to do that. But as a single parent, or, it's frustrating because you just can't do it, and you just don't have the time to do it. And you keep hitting curveballs, kids get sick, all these things happen. And I just felt like I always needed something to sort of keep me on track. And I couldn't find anything on the market that would do that. So that was really the reason I started, because I just wanted somewhere that would make me feel, have everything in one place, and would make me feel less stressed, and actually have all my goals written down, so that I could actually, if I did hit a curveball, I could come back to scratch and say, okay, so where was I? And then I could carry on. So that's kind of, you know, and I think there are so many people like that, so many women particularly who are struggling with, you know, running their businesses, you know, looking after their kids. Maybe they've got elderly relatives that they've got to look after, they've got husbands, they've got, do you know what I mean? There's so much to do. And you know, and you can get particularly overwhelmed, but also these people, incredibly creative, intelligent people, they want to run their businesses, but you know, they're hitting this wall all the time with time. So that's really why I started it. First it was for myself, but obviously then I realized there's so many people in the same situation as myself, and I could just help so many people with this planner. So that's really the reason that I did it and created it.
Yeah. And so what was your frustration then? So what were you finding in the market that wasn't working for you, or what was it that you really wanted to bring out yourself?
Okay, well, it was well, one of the things was the weekly planner. I just wanted something where I could open up, see my week at a glance, which yes, you can do with lots of planners, obviously with lots of diaries, and you get the week to view, but there was never enough space to sort of write all your goals for the week, your daily goals, you know, things that you need to do, you know, telephone numbers, things that you need to buy, expenses. I just wanted to be able to have one piece of paper in front of me, so I didn't have to keep referring to other parts, or I could just dump it all down, literally, and just know that it was all there. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, life's quick, and you always need to write something down quickly, and, you know, put your ideas, or you see a YouTube video and you think, oh, I'd love to watch that, but I can't watch that now, or you see a blog post, you think, oh, I want to, you know, so it would be nice to just be able to write it all down in one place, and then particularly to be able to see all your goals for the week in one place as well. So that was really, 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 I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours just trying to design that weekly sheet. So that was one of the things. The other frustrations was finding something where I could really plan the whole year and the whole business. So you know, I created the business planner and marketing planner at the beginning, and then you've got, you know, you set your yearly goals, and then you know, list all your projects, and then you transfer that all into your monthly and your weekly and your daily. And I just wanted a really simple system, because it's really, you know, the planner is really not rocket science. It's very, you know, I can't cope with complicated myself, you know. So I really wanted something simple, a simple system that I could follow, and I hope, you know, that I've you know, communicated that in the planner as well. So yeah, and it's just, you know, everything is there all in one place. You know, at the end of the week you've got a review, you've got a place where you can, you know, journal, put your gratitude, you know, put everything you're grateful for. There's a, you know, how many a place where you can count up where, you know, how you've done on your social media, what you didn't achieve this week, how, you know, why didn't you achieve it, what you need to do, you know, next week to achieve it. And then an idea as well, you can dump all your ideas, called the idea and inspiration vault, so you can just jot down and brainstorm and mind map or do whatever you want to there. The planner, yeah, is pretty well chocked full of, you know, a lot of useful stuff, basically, definitely.
Yeah, and I love that you brought it all together, because I know for myself and a lot of my clients even, I have so many different pieces of paper, and I have Post-it notes, and I have my planner, and then I have my to-do list, and then I have all these different components, and sometimes it's overwhelming, like you were saying. Like, my desk can be a complete disaster at different points because there's so many different ideas that are running through my head. And I love that you brought all those pieces kind of together to where you could have it in one booklet, where you can have, and it's not just your weekly or monthly schedule. Like, you've got a section built in there for gratitude and what you're thankful for. You've got a section that's built for creating the plan itself and having it all in one booklet, where I know so many of my clients, like, they have it on their computer, they have it on the Post-it note. It's kind of everywhere. So I love that you pulled that all together.
Definitely. That was so important, Darlene. You know, really important to definitely pull it all together like that. You know, it's, I wanted it to be I wanted the planner, which is the name of the planner, my PA. I wanted to make you feel really like you had your own personal assistant, that it was all there. It's like a one-stop shop for organisation. Do you know what I mean? It was so important that it was all in one place, because like you said, I had a book for this and a book for that, and I'd get an idea and I thought, I'll put it in that book. But then, you know, somehow that system would get lost along the way. So I just wanted something really simple where it could all go down in one place.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how do you use the planner for even yourself, or how do you encourage your clients to use it for really making sure they monitor and kind of use all the different aspects of it? Do you have kind of like a system that you have your clients use to make sure that you hit all those areas and you don't leave anything out?
It's really, really simple. It's really intuitive. It's like I said, you've got your business plan if you want to do that right at the beginning, and then you write all your projects down, and then that's for the year or whatever you want to do for that project, and then you transfer that into monthly goals and the projects you want to do that month, and then that goes into weekly and daily. So every day, for instance, you've got a space where you could put 3 goals every single day, because you know it's been proven that if you just try and achieve like 3 things, you're more likely to do those 3 major things than you are by writing a list of 10 or 15 items, you know. So, I mean, that's my advice really, is stick to a really simple system and keep on top of it all the time. And then, get to the end of the week and review what you've done, what you haven't done, why you didn't do what was it a time restraint, whatever. And then just keep going like that, and just keep consistent. On Sunday night, I do this on a Sunday night, write a list of all the things you need to do for the week. And then come Monday morning, you can slot those into the daily schedule as well, and just keep going like that. And just, and it just helps you stay on task, but it's not complicated either. Because as I said, I can't really cope with complicated. It is really straightforward.
Yeah. And I love that you said the consistency of planning out your week too, because I know when we're recording this video, we're at the end of 2018, and my clients and even myself, everybody's focused on how they're going to plan out for 2019, what their goals are, what their strategy is going to be. And I love that you mentioned doing it weekly as well, because that's something that I do as well. As I sit down usually Friday at the end of my day, and sometimes on Sunday like you do. But I sit down and I really look at, okay, what happened last week? What do I need to move over maybe that didn't get accomplished? What needs to be on my schedule for the new week ahead? And I can also plan in I'm a busy mom as well, like you, where there's a lot of times where I have children activities that I need to add into my schedule. I have family activities to add in. I have my business and every aspect of that, of the things that I want to have accomplished. So I like to sit down the week before too, or the night before, and really look at my schedule and see exactly where's all the stuff that's like a non-negotiable, like, if taking kids to school, drop off, maybe a sport activity, conference calls, coaching calls, different things like that. And then go back in and kind of schedule out when I'm going to work on my blog or my emails or social media posts and all the fun things that we have to do as entrepreneurs to keep ourselves visible in the online space, but really utilizing it as a tool to do that as well. So I love that you have that kind of component built into it.
Yeah, definitely. And, that daily schedule is really, really important, I think, because, I'm always guilty. I'm totally guilty of thinking that there are always more hours in the day than there really are. And, oh, yeah, I can definitely do this and I can do that. And you end up getting so sort of like busy. And actually, if you stop and think about it, there aren't that many hours, especially if my son now is at uni, so it doesn't really apply to me. But if you have got kids and you're picking up at sort of 3 or whatever, you don't have that much of a window, So those hours in between are really important, really crucial that you get in as much as possible. So yeah, you need to schedule absolutely everything that you're thinking of doing, whether it be half an hour on Twitter, following Twitter people, or, an hour or 2 hours on your blog post. You need to put it in the planner, definitely. And once you've done all that, I don't know about you, but I think people who work for themselves, entrepreneurs, freelancers, whatever, I think they carry a lot of worry around and anxiety around with them. They've got pressures, they've got everything that you know, at home going on, plus, you know, there's bills to pay, and there's a lot to think about when you're working for yourself. So I think just to get rid of that worry and anxiety about, oh my, what should I be doing next, is, you know, an amazing thing. And that's what another thing that I really wanted the planner to do, was to get rid of all that angst that you can sometimes feel, definitely. And also get to the end of the week and actually think, wow, you know, be happy about what you've achieved. Because I remember years ago getting to the end of the week and thinking, oh, I'm so disappointed, it's Friday and it's the weekend now and I haven't done what I really wanted to do, and that was the weekend, so, you know, the family at home, whatever, I've got to wait till Monday to start again. I just think it's lovely to get to the end of the week and actually think, oh my goodness, look, I've done X, Y and Z and I feel really good and I can go off now and have a lovely weekend and know that, you know, I've had a really productive week.
Yeah, and I love that piece too, because I like to make my list, and I also like to check it off as I go, so that at the end of the week I can look back and go, whoa, I did accomplish a lot, or, ooh, I kind of missed the mark on this area. I really need to make sure that I move this over to next week and make it maybe a top priority for what I need to do so that I can stay on track for my business. Because I think a lot of times too, when you create your big plan for the year can go really fast. So if you don't make a very good plan and like schedule it an hour for each thing, or 5 hours, depending on how long it's going to take you, the year could be halfway over and you can be like, oh, I still haven't reached that goal, or I'm really off track from where I'm at. So I love that you have it set up too, where they can really focus in on what needs to be accomplished. And then they can look back and say, okay, this is where I'm at currently, and this is how I can move forward. Where a lot of times we don't know what we've accomplished for the week because we don't have a plan in place, or we've gotten distracted. And, you know, some of us work with our kids at home still. So a lot of times, like my 4-year-old's home with me about half the time. So I might think I'm completely on track and my day can go a little bit haywire. And when I thought I had 2 hours blocked out to do a specific task, maybe it didn't happen that day. And maybe I need to move it to the evening, or maybe I need to wake up early the next day. But knowing that it's in my plan and that I can move it to make sure it does get done when it needs to get done, I think is an important tool as a business owner and a mom. And you were mentioning too, like having a planner gives you a space to put all those worries out of your head and onto paper. Because I'm the type of person, I know, from where I'll wake up at like 2 a.m. sometimes and I'll think of an idea. Or maybe I go to bed and all of a sudden I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh, I didn't get this accomplished, or I need to work on this in the morning. And it's nice to be able to even roll over and make a note in my phone and write it down, so I don't have to think about it, so I don't forget by the time morning comes. So having a planner or some kind of system too in place where you can log that information, that brilliant idea, or something might come to you where it might be a blog post topic or different things like that. Like just knowing that you can jot it down and it's safely secured in your planner so that you can come back to it when the time is right, I think is a big help for a lot of us.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. And also, Darlene, as entrepreneurs as well, you know, I think we can, it's really difficult for us. We can sometimes go way off track. Do you know what I mean? It's like you said, there are so many things, you know, that we need to do. But if you've got that plan all the time, you can always come back to it.
Yes. So what are some top tips that you can give to us that will kind of help us stay on track as we go into 2019? What are the things that are kind of non-negotiables that you feel like will help every entrepreneur with setting themselves up for success when it comes to their time management, managing their priorities, and keeping themselves on track?
Okay, right. Well, definitely setting goals now really for next year. What do you want to achieve? What are your dreams? You know, where do you want to go next year? And write it down. You know, write 3 really big goals. Yeah. Then you can sort of split them into smaller goals later on, and then every day religiously write those. Well, I would say every week really work out what you're going to do for the following week. And then every day consistently schedule everything that you need to do in that week. Literally whatever it is, put it down, because it's, you know, it's all time. You know, you have to record everything because time will just go. And then writing those 3 goals every single day that you want to achieve, and just staying consistent like that. And, you know, when I say it like that, it is simple. It is really, really simple. And I think, you know, when you've got that plan, I think, you know, like as entrepreneurs, we can have all these ideas, and then suddenly, you know, you kind of just, you know, forget it all, you know. So you have to write it down, you know, you just, it has to be there. So yeah, write everything down, definitely, and keep resetting those goals.
Perfect. And then I know that you have a special gift for everybody that's a part of the summit. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, well, basically, I'd love to give, you know, away this, the planner in its digital form, because you can, you know, number one, you can see, you know, everything at a glance, and if you want to, you can print it out. So it's basically got a business plan at the beginning, and then, you know, your January to December weekly plan.
Beautiful. And I know that you've got, like, it's so detailed. Like, I want to make sure we hit this with everybody on the summit. Like, it's got spaces for your yearly goals, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, your daily goals. I know that you've got pieces in there for social media planning, making sure that your finances are planned as well, so that you can track kind of where you're at with your income goals currently. And you can also look and see, what do I need to adjust to make sure that I stay on track to hit my end of the year goal. And you've got space for taking notes. There's gratitude journal, which I'm huge this past year in 2018. Gratitude journaling has been something that I've really been good at making sure I do on a daily basis. And it's even something that I've done with my children over the years. At the end of the night, when we're going to bed and say our prayers, we also do 3 things that we're thankful for. And I've loved kind of seeing my children be a part of that journey as well, to see what they think is important for the day and what they've accomplished. But I know you also, the main goal of this is you want to make sure that people are less overwhelmed and they can stay on track and stay focused. So.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's, I think. So as we just all suffer from this terrible feeling of being overwhelmed, you know, there was something else that I forgot to say that's in the plan that was really important to me. And that's every day there's a place where you can just tick down how many glasses of water you've had, you know, whether you've done some you know, tracking your exercise and your meditation. So there's a place there you can sort of tick it off. It kind of just gives you a little reminder that, yeah, you should be drinking more water, because water is really important, you know, to keep us, you know, keep that clarity really. And it's just all round important to, you know, to drink lots of water to keep us, you know, healthy. But also, you know, there's a place where you can track, as I said, the exercise and the meditation on a daily basis. It's just a little tick box that you can tick every day.
Alex, you really thought of everything for this journal, which I love, because drinking water is something that I'm not very good at. So I love that that's in the planner as well. So you can, yeah, I have mine on my desk. It doesn't mean I always drink it though. But that's so important, because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs too, we forget that we have to take care of ourselves physically and emotionally and spiritually just as much as that's just as important as doing the steps to create our dreams and our goals and make sure that that's accomplished as well. But we forget sometimes. We get so busy as an entrepreneur that we forget to get up and get a drink of water, or we forget to plan in, you know, a 30-minute walk at the end of the day, or a trip to the gym, or whatever that is for each of us. We all have a different path that we like to do for taking care of our health. But I love that that's in there too, because sometimes we forget. I know I sit at my desk some days and hours can go by and I haven't gotten up to use the restroom or go for a walk or get something to eat. So I love that you have that built into the planner. So as I'm working through my day, I can be like, oh yeah, I need to drink some water today. Or maybe I need to, you know, take a break and clear my head and go for a walk for, you know, 20, 30 minutes, just so I can refocus and get back to what it is that I want to accomplish for the day.
Definitely, because you can achieve so much more when you've done it, you know, and maybe that you don't have time that day to go, you know, go to the gym, and you don't have that spare couple of hours to get there and to do it. And, you know, so you can just think, okay, well, I haven't done that, but I'll go for a walk, and I can just tick the box that I've actually done something good for myself, you know. I thought that was a really important element of, you know, people working alone. Something else I didn't mention, Darlene, was the fact that I'm creating a Facebook group as well for the planner. You know, and that'd be chock full of everyday, daily inspiration. I'm hoping to do daily meditation and yoga practices, sort of only short ones. And, you know, there'll be tips about planning and just trying to help people stay on track, really. And also, I mean, another thing that I think entrepreneurs, you know, solopreneurs or whatever you want to call them, working from home, is that it can be really lonely and it can be overwhelmingly lonely. And I just want this space where people can actually, you know, shout out for help or advice or, you know, anything. So they've got that contact, really, because I think it's really, really important. I think it can really, you know, we are social animals, and I think the problem with working from home is people can get very down and it can be very lonely and frightening. So I wanted to create this space where people could actually, you know, network together, get help from each other, support each other, make connections. You know, I've made some great you know, connections online. Friendships. I've never actually met people face to face, but you get to know people, and it's lovely, you know, and you can shout out to people and ask their advice, and it's wonderful. So that's what I want this space to be like.
That's beautiful, because I think it's so true. We, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we work from home, or we don't have necessarily a huge team of people around us all the time. So to have a place that you can connect with like-minded people who are, and in this case, everybody will be using the journal together, the planner, so they'll be able to connect and ask questions and build relationships and maybe even hold each other accountable to make sure that their goals are being met each day.
Absolutely. And it would just be a little reminder, you know, because it's okay creating a planner and having a planner, but the thing is actually using it and consistently using it. I mean, so many people buy a planner, it's like the new shiny planner, you know, it's pink or purple or whatever. My PA is black, and it's all great to have this beautiful, spanking new, lovely thing in front of you. But the only way that it's going to work is if you use it, and you use it consistently. So I really want people to get the most out of it. And I think the only way they can do that really is by using it consistently and having those little reminders, hopefully, that will pop up in their news feed, you know, like Sunday night planning, have you done your goal setting, you know, this sort of thing, without being too boring. But I definitely think people need to be helped, you know, to be kept on track, really. And yeah, so that's what it's all for.
Nice. And yeah, you mentioned, like, so I still have some planners from past years where when I open them up, sometimes I laugh because I'm like, I didn't even really utilize it for what its purpose was, because it didn't have everything encompassed that I needed. So I just stopped using it. I might have wrote down a few things for a month or two, and then I would just use my phone, or I'd have a scrap piece of paper and kind of just make my own notes. But having a place too where everything is right there for you is going to be huge for all of us.
Definitely. And the reason I didn't go with like a daily, you know, some people like the day, I mean, some people still do like the, you know, the full day to view, was I just thought sometimes these planners, they come with a whole day, and it's like, there's too much. You don't have enough to write in that whole space. Plus you can't see the whole week in front of you. And the planners are actually asking you of too much to do in one day. And then it just becomes, oh, it comes with a massive task. I've got to fill in my daily planner. You know, it's a huge task in itself. So that's why I wanted, you know, the weekly one. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, so people just did it, got used to it, and stuck to it. You know, and hopefully there'll be lots of really full planners at the end of the year, and it'll be a really nice keepsake as well. So you can look back and, you know, see what you achieved.
Yes, and it's so important to be able to look back and say, well, what did I accomplish this year? And you'll have everything in one simplified location versus all over your desk or all over your computer. So Alex,
yeah.
and you've given us so many different nuggets and ways that we can amplify and implement everything that we want to do as business owners. And it's all in this one book. And you're so generous to give everybody a copy of it in digital form, so that they're able to really try it out and see, is this the kind of planner that works for me? Is this going to be what makes my life so much easier as I go into the new year and hit on every single syllable that you need to? How do people connect with you? I know you mentioned that you have a Facebook group coming for the planner itself. Is that created yet, or is that,
no,
do we have a link for it?
Yet. I'll be doing that. Sorry to interrupt. I'll be doing that probably sort of back end of next week, just before the new year, really. And then I'm on, you know, I've got two I've got two Instagram accounts, my own one, which is Alex Strearn, and then the planner, which is My PA Planner. My website's www.mypaplanner.com, and then I've got a Facebook page as well. And I'm all over social media, like everybody really. I'm on Twitter as well. And I've got a few accounts there, so you can find it very easy. If you write My PA Planner, it will come up.
It'll pop right up. Perfect. And I will make sure that we touch base again, because the summit won't go live till January. So you'll have that group already created. So if you send me the link for that, I'll make sure it's down below so everybody can grab that as well and get in. So once you have your digital copy of the planner, definitely go into Alex's group and connect with other people that are using this platform, because I think it's going to be life-changing, game-changing, and it's going to make 2019 just so much more easier to obtain those goals and reach them each step of the way. So Alex, thank you so much for being a guest on with us. I know I can't wait to use the planner myself, and there's so many great areas in it. So I know that everybody else is going to be just as excited to have a new way to keep track of everything all in one location.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been lovely. Thank you, Darlene.